Hey, it's Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Steve Walling, and I have a very special guest for this segment. Former Fresno City Councilman,
That's correct.
Former State Assemblyman, and executive producer of Central Valley Talk, Mike Briggs. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I put on these shows.
There you go. You do. How long have you been doing this now, Mike?
Well, we just hit our 10th anniversary in 2018. So, in fact, we have our 11th coming up in February.
Do you really?
Or August, I don't remember.
That
But
makes
it's coming
you
up.
like an early pioneer in this whole concept of streaming shows and stuff.
We're the longest running talk shows in Fresno history on on video content, TV, radio. Guys like Ray Appleton have lasted forever, but TV talk shows just don't last in Fresno.
But Central Valley Talk is here.
Yeah, mostly.
Been here.
Yeah, mostly we last because we know how to get guests.
Yeah.
And most people don't know how to get guests. Our guests, because you're the host. They're just regular people with regular little businesses or regular ideas.
But we've been able to, and you've been able to, through the production of this station, to pull in some really interesting people.
Yep.
Fresno, I've learned a lot about Fresno sitting in this seat. Our art community, our literary community, the business community, right, and all of that. And they get an access to the public through Central Valley Talk. And you provide that for them. There's
businesses that you would not dream would exist in Fresno. We find them and we bring them on here and introduce them to the public.
And they've had very positive results as being exposed to the public through this medium.
The biggest thing the businesses get to come on here, they're allowed to order a video, and it's $45, and you got a professional host, a professional studio. It costs you thousands to produce a video like that.
And they can take that video and they can put it on their web page, they can put it on their Facebook page.
Theirs. They can use it any way they like. They can email it out to people in a year, 5 years, the video is still out there and available.
Yeah, and they also get to an opportunity to promote their business through Central Valley Talk and the commercial programming that you offer to them also at a very reasonable rate.
Yeah, we have rates for commercials that are untouched by anybody, and you can get 1,000 commercials a month for just a couple $100. So.
That's great. Yeah. Now, speaking of this station, we have a pretty good Fresno community watching, audience and stuff, but we're international.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're here, for someone like, if you happen to be an artist or an author, or if your business is a business that, like if you have an online business that you want to grow, something like that.
Your market's a world.
Your market's
not
the
just
world.
Fresno, that's right.
And it gets out there, and we cycle some of these, various interviews through the month. And stuff, they just get a lot of exposure.
A lot of views. Every interview is repeated at least 4 times. Some of them 8 times or 10 times throughout the month.
Mike, what was the idea that first got you into this?
Well, I was going to be a talk show star. I was going to start my own talk show and be like Rush Limbaugh or one of these big guys, Sean Hannity or something, and people would pay thousands of dollars to sponsor my show. And turns out nobody wanted to sponsor my show. And
why not? I mean, you're a nice guy.
I am a nice guy. So
you're not quite as good looking as the host, but you're still.
Well, some of these radio stations and stuff have a full-time marketing team out there.
Yeah.
That markets. We just didn't have the capacity to do that. So we decided to bring in more guests and just open it up to different people. And I still have a show every Wednesday, Mike and Athena Live. It's every Wednesday at 3 p.m. And it gets a lot of, it's our.
And that brings me to another topic I wanted to touch on today, is that you do have shows besides our business show and our art show and stuff. You have, regular scheduled shows that run throughout the week that covers a broad spectrum of interest, doesn't it?
And those shows are all produced by the host. Anybody's welcome. Almost anybody is welcome to have a show here. You just have to have your own idea and you produce it yourself. We have shows. We have one show, guy who loves Trump, and we have another show, a guy who hates Trump. We'll cover the gamut, and we call it kind of free speech as long as there's no hate speech going on.
Right.
That anybody can have a show here who has a good idea, and we have there's a show called Sex, Drugs, and Chris DeVold. Funniest guy in the world, all improvisational humor. He does a good show. What's the one? Hey Slingshot is on Friday evenings, and that's with Joan, and she does a wonderful job. So a lot of people will come up with their ideas and produce their own shows.
Yeah, and that's great. And they can get a hold of you if they have an idea for a show, and they can come on one of the shows like this and kind of get a feel for it.
Just get a feel.
And
sit right here beside Steve and try it out. So and it's free. We can't say that enough. It's free to come on our shows, and you just need to go to the web channel, CentralValleyTalk.com, and click I'd like to be a guest, or there's another place to click that you'd like to have your own show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what a great service you provide, Mike.
Thanks, Steve.
And I thank you for allowing me to be here.
Well, let's say this. If you're watching and you have a business or a service or an event or something to say, you have some art or something, we have an art show, we have an artist show, author show, a wedding show, real estate show, home improvement show, all these different shows you could come on for free and just pitch. Just go to the web channel and click I'd like to be a guest.
Right. And we have spiritual shows. We have special interest shows. We've had... I don't know if we've had a specific show, but I know we've had a lot of people on, regarding like animals, pets, this type of thing. Yeah. Some business people that in a particular field of business that has good ideas for promotion here in the Central Valley community. We got a lot of good stuff, and we're available for people to bring that to the market.
Come here and talk about it, please. So.
Well, Mike, that's great. I want to thank you for being on the show today. I'd like to do this on a regular basis. We'll talk about new shows and hits that we've had. And we've had some pretty good hits. People that have been on the show that through the marketing capability of what Mike does here in the videos that they buy, that they've had some pretty good successes.
Well. They've done very well.
Yeah. So thank you again. Thanks for being on the show. How do we get a hold of you again
Just go to CentralValleyTalk.com and all the questions are answered there. There's a great new page we have called About Us, CentralValleyTalk.com, and click About, and it just tells about all of our programs, how you get on, about advertising, how to start your own show.
I think I'll sell you a CD or a DVD of this segment, and you can put it on that on that page so people can find out about it.
I'll order a copy myself.
There you go. Listen, thanks for being with us for this segment, but I got to tell you, we've got a lot of great people that come on that, depending on where your interest lies, you'll find something here. And I'll see you when we come back.